Oh, the penultimate round of season number 7. It's Pro-Ams, and we go across the pond one more time before we return home to the United Kingdom. We're in the United States. We're in New York. It is a Watkins Glen. I am Lexi, and this is your penultimate round for this season. If my plans go ahead, this will be the penultimate round that I'm doing commentary on this, because I'm contemplating racing in Pro-Am next season. So please don't hate me for that. But you will have somebody else. We'll wait and see for that vote. It is the penultimate round. Interesting stuff coming into this race. We have 3 drivers with qualifying bans. 2 drivers will be starting at the back of the grid. So we'll wait and see. We'll see. Anything and everything can happen. Of course, we're here in free practice, so we'll go through it real quick for you. Let's get you up to date into this penultimate round. Of course, we'll start with the team's championship. Last week at Alton Park, it was wrapped up. It was decided at the top. It is Greasy Bandits Racing, who are the team's champions this season in Pro-Am. They sit up there with a 1,435 points, a 442 point difference to Cam Racing in P number 2. FSO Racing then sit P number 3 with 677 points, but the battle for P number 4, the battle for P3 in the championship is still on. SimPlay, Cloud9 and Stage 2 Motorsport all within contention, if I do say so myself. FSO with 677 in P number 3. P4 is SimPlay Racing with 665. 650 then goes to Cloud9 Racing in P number 5. Stage 2 Motorsport a little bit actually not. Stage 2 Motorsport is a little bit further, quite far if I do say so, but they may not be out of it. We'll have to wait and see. They are in P number 6, unlikely, but they'd have to get one hell of a ride. It's then Fat Bloke Racing in P number 7, Richie's Course Team in P number 8, Team Murloc P9, Team TOM P10, Mad Dog Motorsport P11, P12 goes to Roadrunner Motors, Malamus Racing sits in P number 13, Dolphins Motorsport in P number 14, Quantum Motorsport sit P number 15. They finally got both drivers on the grid this week. Sent RBGT team in P number 16 with Team Audio Sport on 33 points in P number 18, but Autosport is crossed out, so I'm going to guess they are P number 17. Going over to the Drivers' Championship, that was wrapped up, that was done and dusted, or was it? Hibs cannot, well, I got that messed up. It's the teams which has wrapped up. The drivers, not so much yet. Hibbs can win it in the first race, but it's looking more likely for the second. He sits up top. It's 803 points to his name. It is then John Gooday, his teammate in P number 2, won 632 points, 171 point difference. 55 points needed to stay in contention. 26 points is then there for Snai in P number 3. Then Ramsel, who sits P number 4 with 526 points, 467 points goes to Millington. So it's a Greasy Bandits 1-2 and a Cam Racing 4-5. Will that wrap up? Will that change tonight? Flem Speed 1 then sits P number 6 with 418. He is currently tied and level with Greaves from Fat Bloke Racing in P number 7. Beck then sits P number 8 with Saunders P9. With Stardog P9, Saunders P10. It's in Taylor, Ritchie, Varga, Flores, Wolski, Argent, Heyho, Olsen Racer, Craig the Limiter, Tucker, Smith, Williams, Johnson, Unsworth, Kneebone, Sturrock, Fat Bloke, Hicks, Atherton, Bettison, Rubber, Best, Clarble, KLF, Langley, Cranky Duckhead, Sutcliffe, and Roy. So that is the championship for you coming here in free practice and at the end of and going into round number 1. Looking in the Twitch chat, we already have Monfoot and Gary Clarble in the chat. Welcome in, gentlemen, welcome in, ladies, and welcome to SimPlay Motorsport. Of course, this is brought to you here on the YouTube, but also we can't do it without the help from our sponsors. That, of course, being Design Manchester and Audio Sport. You can find their links and their info in the description of this VOD. If you're watching after or right here live, they're all in the bio, in the description of this live stream. Currently watching Ramsell going around the circuit, less than a tenth to the leader, that being John Gooday. 1 minute 44.987 current lap time to beat here in qualifying, as we've got just under 10 minutes remaining. And we are going to do a quick audio balance chat. Let me know if I'm going to go on board. Please let me know if the audio is balanced when we're on board. You always want to balance it on board. So, am I a little bit quieter or am I a little bit loud? Of course, feel free to let me know for that, but it is going to be Ramsell now going to come to the line here at Watkins. Glen, they will stay P number 2. Next up is then Hibbs. They can win it in race number 1, but they have to hope for a miracle. They have to pick up that win, and their closest contender will have to not score any points, which is highly unlikely. So, are you ready? Let's go. Are we ready? Yes, we're ready. I was about to do a Triple H voice for that, but I'm not going to, because I would rather not get sued by the WWE. As right now, because let's be honest, we're in Watkins Glen, we're in New York. They ain't that far on a plane, so I would rather not get sued by World Wrestling Entertainment. But right now, currently going through the right-hander, a little bit of a dip down, a little bit of a banking when it comes down to it, when you think about it, but not so much. Down and through, and out of the toe, and into the heel. This is where it's all gonna count. You got weird corner names around the Watkins Glen circuit, but either way, you're gonna work with it and you're gonna go for it. So we'll wait and see what will happen here. We're in free practice right now, so not that much time is left on the clock when it comes down to it. Of course, if you don't know how it works here at SimPlay Motorsport, we'll talk it right through for you. You have a 10-minute free practice session, then it is race number 1. It is reverse championship order for the race. It is reverse championship order for the sprint race, which is of course 20 minutes. And then after that, we will go into a short little break, followed by 15-minute qualifying, and then a 1-hour race. Of course, qualifying will determine a starting position for the main race. 2 qualifying bands will be there here this evening, which we will go through as the man, the myth, the legend, the man who I always catch spinning. It is Ramsell. He goes to the top. 1 minute 44.897. They will pull over and they will now go into the pit lane. Cam Racing trying to hold on to their position in the team's championship. What can they do? But we'll have to wait and see what the teams are like overall. As right now, it is Watkins Glen. Lots of people are in the pit lane. Not so much. You know what? Let's watch Varga for a little bit. Quite unlucky last time out, although they did have a nice little time as well. It can really be a difference when it comes down to it. So realistically, it's not too bad and it's not too washed, although some people may be washed up, as unfortunately nobody here in SimPlay apart from myself is washed up. So luckily for all the drivers out there, I'm in the box. I am not out on the racetrack. Otherwise, I would be another bus stop chicane. But right now, we're going to continue. We'll watch Saunders go for a lap around the Watkins Glen circuit in the Cloud 9 racing car. So right now, as he comes out of the inner loop, aka the bus stop, and then on to the outer loop of turn number 5. It's quite an interesting circuit. When you look at it, it doesn't actually have as many corners as you think it does. Some track maps say that it has... Some tracks say it has 13 corners. Some say that it has 11, because some people don't class the bus stop as a few corners, which I am going to, because it's 2 corners going right then left. So that is where the difference is going to be. further and further down the main straight, down the boot though, and into the heel. You then come through the right-hander and up the hill. On the left-hand side, coming through is the NASCAR chute, as you can see it right there. However, we don't use the NASCAR chute here. We go round into the boot through laces, toe, heel. So it's an interesting one, really. The final two corners, not really named, but turn number 1 being the 90, followed by turn 2, 3, and 4 of the S's. Into the bus stop, aka the inner loop, then the outer loop. Laces, toe, the boot straight, heel, ankle, and then of course it is 12 and 13. However, heading through the S's, it looks like they've got a nice little toe here. That is going to be Varga of Malamus Racing, who is right. No, that is not Varga. I got that wrong. My bad. As A up, Craig's in the pits. Oh, that is Wolski, who is in the barrier just before toe. So, oh, there's another car in the barrier, actually. Was there an incident there? Was there an incident between two drivers in free practice? We have no idea. We're going to go watch Varga for a little bit, because why not? So, why Saunders reset to the pit lane, that's why. But right now, here in free practice, it's 20 degree track temperature, 15 degree ambient, optimal track surface, no rain on the forecast, unlike last night with the GT4s, where it was wet, wet, wet. And of course, you had those dry spells, but there was still rain, so that came down to a lot of setup strategy. Tonight, you set up for a dry track. You don't use a hybrid setup. You either use safe or aggressive, whichever is to your liking. Through the left-hander and onto the middle stretch. Going to continue here down towards the toe of turn number 9. Through the right-hander. Trying to keep it nice and tidy and nice and clean is Tucker. Currently sits P number 13. Unlucky for some and unlucky as he goes into the grass. And apologies, we missed this. That is Snai, who is fastest here in free practice. 1 minute 44, 3:05. So now through the bus stop, the inner loop, aka, and then, oh, little bit of a rear end bumpy doodah. He went airborne, and then further through these laps. A little bit of an overcrest, down into the dip, as I like to call it, as you head into laces. It's an interesting one. Of course, we got the calendar for next season as well. If I find a chance, I will try and find it for you, wherever it may be. That actually got revealed live actually got revealed last week live here on the Pro-Ams in the midweek. It's a Wednesday night. It is proper. It's loved. It's all the racing you want. And this is Watkins Glen. 1 minute 37 remain here in free practice. Only 4 drivers out on the circuit at this current moment. Only 5 drivers, I should say, out on the circuit at this current moment in time. Trying to keep it tight, trying to keep it as tidy as possible. Then into the left-hander we will go. Try to keep it on top of each other, over the curb a little bit. Into the right-hander. Key factor here, you've got to be careful with that pit lane entry. You can see the line right there. It is a yellow line, and of course many drivers will take the apex, but drivers are going to be a lot slower for taking that apex when they're coming into the pit lane, so drivers will have to be cautious about that tonight, as less than a minute remains here in free practice. So final driver is going to be making their way around. That is going to be the 357, who is currently coming around as well. Is actually, no, not the 357, the 557 it is Varga. They're going to be the last driver to come around the circuit, it seems. 2 drivers will probably get a few more laps in. Will Varga as well, though? That is the true question when it comes down to it. We'll have a little bit of a look-see to see how everything will play out between these drivers tonight. And everything may be different. I'm going to go through the YouTube chat one more time just to see who is here. Welcome in Monfoot, Clarbel, Matt Wright, Tips, Matthew Duffin, Tank, and Fury's granddad. So welcome in everybody, and thank you for joining us. I know that Matt Wright is here a lot earlier than usual. Hello, Matt. And there's the audio of Atherton. And here we go. It is going to be getting ready and raring to go. Hey, Matt's calling me Chief. Hey, Matt, remember, I used to own the team, so... I used to own the team, Matt. Yeah, a law drop. I used to own Quantum Motorsport before it was named Quantum Motorsport. Then I gave it to Matt Wright. So, bit of a law drop there when it comes down to it.
30 seconds. 20 seconds. 10 seconds.
Right, so here we go. 84% of 13 view. I heard your team. Right, look, it's the same team, it's just renamed. I want to read this real quick, because I know that Quantum is all you. Fair enough. Well, gonna see interested to see how you boys do tonight, as I heard a very professional comms from you on Monday night. Hope we're getting the same tonight. You most likely will at parts. But right now, let's go through your starting order for you, as the video will come up. And it is going to be KLF, who will be lining up on pole position. If I have got this correct, it's the man who is on pole. It's his birthday? No idea. I think I got that right, but I've got down in my notes, Kelly. Matthew, please can you remind me whose birthday it is? It's somebody's birthday. So, it is somebody's birthday. But it is KLF who will line up on pole position here this evening. Then it's followed by Betterson, who will be right alongside him on the front row. It then goes to Atherton, who will sit in P number 3, followed by Hicks, P number 4. And thank you very much, Matthew. It's then Kneebone, followed by Williams, Tucker, Craig, Wolski and Flores round out the 5th row on the grid to round out the top 10. It's then Varga and Taylor in P number 11 and 12, followed by Saunders, Stardog, Ramsell, Millington, Snye, John Gooday, Hibbs, and that is going to be Greaves. As we have got information that apparently somebody's saying, Matthew is saying 20-ish, Matt is saying it's his 18th. He had his first drink today. So I'm just going to say it's his birthday, because I'm not going to try guess the age. But it is KLF. It is KLF's birthday, and they are lining up on pole position. So talk about a way to have your birthday, eh? Starting on pole for the reverse grid. It's going to be an interesting one. Montfort, that is because of the way Yeah, check on your side. It shouldn't be, but if it is, then that may be an issue on my end. And if it is, then I will try get that fixed for during the intermission. So, if it... Right, cool, I'll get that fixed for the intermission for you guys. Right. I'll get that fixed for you guys in race number 2. Because I know I can fix that, but I'd have to end stream and restart it. So I'll get that fixed for you guys in race number 2. Anywho's, as all the drivers now go up side by side into the left-hander. No, Series S can stream 1080. So right now, I'm going to continue here at Watkins Glen. As the formation lap comes to an end, all drivers will go double file. They will go through the right-hander now. Key factor, that inside line, that yellow line, they've got to be very, very careful on the race start, because that can be infamous. You don't want any collisions when it comes to the pit stops. But they're now double file. The sign says go bowling. We'll have to hope that they don't. Here at Watkins Glen, it is all eyes to the lights.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Boogity, 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 let's go racing as the green flag drops, and away we go. That's going to be a very, very good start for KLF. Not so much for Pedersen. Already got Assetto right behind him. Competizione Motorsport behind. That's going to be making his way through. He's got to be careful. Nebo, sprint winner, right beside him. Nebo will look for another race. We'll look for another sprint win here. Through the S's, way they will go. Through 3, through 4 into now. Then onto the back stretch. Going to be trying to continue closer and closer, but that is going to be nice and tidy. No yellow flags have fallen behind, as that is going to be, I believe, Flores has lost out quite a lot of positions, heading now into the shoe. Heading now into the inner loop. That is a car off on the right-hand side. That is going to be Wolski, and they have gone off on the inner loop at the bus stop. And that is unfortunate, losing out on the opening lap. Right now it is KLF who leads, but Pedersen has had a moment. Pedersen's gone down. Was that a collision, or was that unlucky? That is going to be extremely unfortunate. Atherton will get promoted up into P number 2, but actually no, he's had a moment. So does the Quantum Motorsport car of Matt Hicks. He's made his way past Atherton. Kneebon's also got past. Kneebone now P number 2. Atherton's right behind him. He's got to be careful. He's got McLaren right behind him. Trying to continue with this. Williams and Tucker and Craig all right there with him. 2 Team Murloc cars, 1 Stage 2 Motorsport cars. That Audi is going to be in question. How will it work out for the rest of this racing part? Heading now through the left-hander into the final corner, into turn number 13. Maybe unlucky for some, but inside Apex, gotta be infamous tonight. Onto the exit, onto the main straight, 22-degree track, 16-degree ambient, optimal track surface, no rain on the forecast. Right now though, Williams got Tucker. He's trying to get past a little bit closer as everybody's getting punched up behind. That is going to be the BMW of Saunders. He's not going to lose 1, he's going to lose 2. Varga gets in front of him. Taylor's now fallen behind. He's made his way through as well, actually. My apologies. But right now, on the rear, trying to get closer and closer. Taylor is right there with him. He has to be right alongside him. He will go for the move into the bus stop, and he will get it done. Right now, you've also got to be careful. So Craig has got to be careful. Williams is on the defensive. Craig trying to get past him. Saunders right behind. Saunders dropped back. That will be Varga, who's right on the back of him. Trying to continue here. Down into the ankle. Through the left-hander and onto the back straight and into the little squiggly bits. You head through lace, as I should say, not ankle. Then into the braking zone. It is going to be the BMW. Varga looked to go for the move down the inside, but it didn't work out that time. Williams is going to be unlucky though. Williams is trying to get through, or is that going to be Saunders? Saunders is behind. Where is Williams? Williams is right there. He's going to be wheel to wheel, side by side, heading down into the sole of the foot, aka heel, and then through. We got a 5-way train, going to become 6-way. You can see right behind him, that's going to be John Godet. He's trying to make his way past Ramsell, wheel to wheel, side by side, almost a little bit of contact, and it is major contact into the barrier, and luckily enough, they both keep going. There is Hibbs, he needs to win this sprint. But that is under investigation without a doubt. Ramsell ran the outside to keep the position, but they're going to be slower. Right behind him is going to be Stardog. John Godet, he's on the defensive. How will that work out? Onto the exit, John Godet goes deep. Little bit of a pull in Stardog, but that's giving Stardog the overspeed. Nice little exit, nice and through. And that's going to be Flores who gets past Snipe. John Godet now going to be on the defensive one more time. Gab has come up behind. Gap has closed in front. Got to keep an eye on that mini-map as the 636 is still chasing number 2. Down into the bus stop chicane. This is where it's going to count. Down into the braking zone, into the right-hander. Then into the left-hander one more time. Stardog went deep. That's going to give John Godet an advantage. Into the outer loop. Trying to keep it right there with him, but it's not going to be yet. John Godet's going to have to be careful. That will be the BMW of Sny. Trying to touch the barrier. He will get past Flores. Moves down the inside. Flores goes on the defensive as they head out of Lace. Going to continue closer and closer in this entirety of this time. Also going to be careful. BMW right behind him as well. Into the right-hander. Trying to keep it clean. Flores goes deep. He loses one place. He's got to be careful. Here comes another. Is that Wolski as the pit window opens? You've got to make your pit stop within that time. That is Wolski, who's still trying to chase down Flores. But right now, you can still see him. KLF is right there with him. The P2 of Kneebone is closing in closer and closer. We're going to have to keep an eye on that one as well. But throughout this circuit, you can see all these drivers. They're all over the place. As we continue down this straight, you get almost a little bit deep there. Heading through turn number 12, into turn number 13. It is all over the place for all these guys. Plenty of drivers into the pit lane. Hicks into the pits. Atherton into the pits. Saunders, Ramsell, John Godet, all into the pits. John Godet and Ramsell 100% driving with damage after that incident that they picked up. How is that going to affect their pit stops? How are they going to continue? But right now, one thing we've also got to be careful of, what's happening between KLF and Kneebone. Kneebone is right there with him. He's right behind him. KLF is leading this race. How will that fare after the... How will that fare when it comes down to it? How will it fare when realistically these pit stops are going to come into play? You see over the back of Nebo, that was a little bit of a jump. How is that going to be different from these drivers? Also looking behind, Taylor's on the defensive because he's got two McLarens who are hungry for that place coming up behind him. And he's in a McLaren sandwich. He's in a McLaren sandwich right now. He's got two McLarens in front of him, two McLarens behind him. If you don't know how pit stops work, it is a mandatory pit stop for fuel. 25-second minimum. You can take tyres, but unlikely in a sprint. Well, this is why we love Watkins Glen, because it provides all the action. As you see the flames flying out the exhaust on the car of Williams. Right now, though, he's got Hibbs right behind him. Hibbs is trying to close in, closer each time as we look through the windshield of this McLaren. He's got the other one right there, but that will be Williams. He's made the intention clear. Box, 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 box. He's into the pits. So everybody, P15 downwards, is now into the pit lane. Williams will come in, Varga will come in, and anybody else. Pedersen stays out, Flores stays out, Wolski stays out. So only two drivers into the pit lane at the end of this lap. This may not be over though. Kneebone is now right on the back of KLF through the inner loop, aka the bus stop. He's right there with him, heading now down into the right-hander through this circuit that everybody knows, that everybody loves. Onto the exit, onto the drive, into the braking zone, into the heavy braking, into the left-hander, through laces, they now go. We gotta be careful because KLF on the defensive, but a little bit wide for Kneebone. He's got the fastest lap of this race so far. He won the sprint last time out at Alton Park. Can he make it one? Can he make it 2 in a row? We'll wait and see. He's onto the marbles, he's going all over the place, trying to look for a spot where he can get past, where he can get that move done. But it does not look like it's working out at this current moment in time. Key factor though, 6 minutes 25 seconds remaining on the pit window. How is that going to be different? Who is going to be calling that pit stop first? If KLF pits first, Kneebone can opt for an overcut. He can go in again, but both drivers are going to stay out. But that's seemingly a lot more braking on the part of Kneebone. Did he think that KLF was calling a late pit stop? Highly unlikely, but they've still got a pit within this window as this battle for the race lead does continue. Kneebone did get a good launch on the last lap down this back stretch as we are shortly approaching the halfway mark of this sprint race. Through the right-hander and onto the back stretch, trying to close in, inching closer and closer, trying to get that slipstream. He is going to be right there with him, but it's not going to work out that time. Taylor, Snipe, Betterson all into the pit lane now, and that's using as much curb as he likes for KLF as they do continue through the right-hander, over the crest now into Lacey's, and then into the braking zone. The McLaren versus the McLaren. It's 5 McLarens up at the top, and that is going to be an interesting one. Into the braking zone, into the right-hander now, trying to get as many places as possible as we approach the halfway mark now of this race. Closer and closer with each lap you inch, trying to get as many moves done as seemingly possible. Into the braking zone, into the right-hander, and then onto the exit as you go a little bit wider. Trying to get as much spaces as possible, trying to get as many moves as possible. Through the left-hander now we will go onto the exit. Who will call it this lap? Is there going to be any calls this lap? It seems like Nevo seemingly backing off in that last lap. Will they call the box or will they both stay out? Both drivers will now stay out one more time. They're taking this pit window all the way down to the wire. This may be hesitation on Nevo's part. He might not want to pit until KLF does, but KLF may also be hesitant. He may not want to pit until Nevo does. But you've got to remember, it's just under a 2-minute lap time here at Watkins Glen. Tucker, Craig into the pit lane. It's just under a 2-minute lap here. I would say they've got to come in at the end of this lap, otherwise it's going to be extremely tight. So now only 6 drivers yet to pit. KLF, Kneebone, Stardog, Greaves, Flores and Wolski. The only drivers yet to pit in this race. McLaren top 5, not anymore. Stardog and Greaves and Flores, maybe even Wolski will make it. So it's not a McLaren top 5. As into the braking zone, that may be a little bit deep from KLF. Kneebone was right there with him. He's been with him for the rest of this race. He's had a very good race so far, to be fair. It's a sprint race. It's not, you don't win it by being P number 1 overall, and I'm going to do a Will Buxton here. To win a race, first you have to finish. So, yeah, I did a Will Buxton. God, that was cringe. As right now, Kneebone is going to be right on the back of KLF. Team Audio Sport up there at the top. Kneebone independent into the left-hander. They will now go. Is it going to be a call? They've got to do it at the end of this lap, surely. And it will be a call. Into the pit lane. Here comes the race leaders as KLF and Kneebone. Who will get a better pit stop here whilst these drivers do that? That is Kneebone. He got very, very late on the brakes there. Is that a penalty or not? That may be in question. Right now, though, further back, you can see them all happening here. So, John Godet has now picked... I gotta wonder, will they pick that up? As I wonder if KLF will get the birthday bumps. Who knows? As right now, it is going to be this battle further back. A few drivers have opted not to pit. That is Flores and Greaves. They have not called their pit stops here yet. And KLF, actually, has got a very good pit box here. He's got the second pit box in the pit lane. Well, second to last. pit lane here, pit box here at Watkins. So he's going to have a very good launch. Heck, he may not even need to turn the pit limiter on. He may just be able to get straight on the throttle and nice and tidy. But here we go. That's gonna be Kneebone, who gets to jump in the pits. So Kneebone becomes net race leader, but now he's got to be on the defensive. KLF is right with him. As they come out the pit lane, this is racing at its finest. 6 minutes, 6 seconds remain here in the sprint race. Trying to close in as much as possible. Greaves and Flores still yet to pit. These two are ahead of them. This is the battle for the race lead here at Watkins Glen. Kneebone won it last time out in Imola. KLF looking to win on his birthday, but will it be dethroned by Kneebone? That launch in the pits, seemingly the advantage. He was a lot later on the brakes, as we saw. That was completely legal. No penalty was given. He must have been right on the limit. As they do continue here at Watkins Glen, you can see Kneebone. We go into the helmet cam, and this is what you see. This is what we know, and you can see him. He's trying to control that car, but sliding and slipping. You can hear the tyres, and that is unlucky. Is the pressure beginning to mount? Less than 5 minutes now remain on the clock here in New York. So right now these drivers will continue. Greaves and Flores are going to be making their exit out of the pit lane. How are those two going to be paramounting as the race leaders do continue to battle? We're going to, as that is a stop, go 30 for Greaves, as right now you saw him right there. Ramsell on a defensive play. He's got to be careful. He's got Sny right behind him. He's coming up alongside him, trying to make his way through down this back stretch, down into the braking zones, into the final few corners. Here comes Sny, not final few, first few. Bus stop. You can see the damage on the front end of Ramsell from that collision earlier with John Gooday. And Sny, who gets the move done, and he is through. As no into the barrier! Was it contact? Was it on his own? That was you get the move done, but you lose out on the exit. Commentator's curse in full swing as KLF still now the battle for the lead. Gonna be continuing here, trying to make his way through, trying to get as many moves done. This will be I do believe, if my maths is serving me correctly, this will be the penultimate lap that we are now leading on to. It's going to be 2 laps for KLF to get past Kneebone on KLF's birthday. He started on pole in this race. Kneebone started a little bit further back. KLF had an amazing start and he led this race the entire time, only losing out in the pits, seemingly because Kneebone was a lot later on the brakes and had a lot more momentum, it seems. But this is going to be a key factor. Was it a pit stop malfunction? Was it fresh tyres? We will not know in this sprint. Through the crest, through the left-hander, and then into the right-hander one more time. Further and further, these two guys are going to be going on this penultimate lap down towards bus stop. It's where it's going to go, and it is very clear. There is support for Kelly in the chat here this evening at Watkins Glen. Ramsell also still trying to get past Taylor, as all these guys having an absolute skirmish further back. Craig trying to make his way past Saunders, which he has now done. He is trying to get past the Ferrari next. But here comes Sny. He lost out earlier on. Craig has actually lost out to Millington. Sny had that moment where he binned the car. Now he's trying to make his way through. And Scythe back through the field, out of tow. The leaders will be continuing on into the ankle. And everyone will be continuing. So you can see all the leaders here. Sny is on a recovery drive. After that moment, he lost it, and now he tries to go again. But when nine laps have been completed, this will be the end of the 10th lap. We're going on to lap number 11. Through this left-hander, we will now go. It is Kneebone who's on the defensive. The timer will tell us how much time is left between these two drivers. Go bowling, let's go racing for the final lap of the Watkins Glen's sprint race. This is the final lap. This is going to be the final chances as they go pedal to the metal. The foot will go to the floor for this final lap. Here at Watkins, who will get the advantage? Through the right-hander, into the left-hander. Trying to get as many moves done through these corners. Into the back stretch now. Trying to close in as Kneebone leads, followed by KLF. Then followed by Hicks. Looking over the rear wing, Logitech on the rear. But it is going to be, it is unlucky, and they will be trying to make their way through. The man who started on pole is now losing out, it seems. Coming down the back stretch. Saunders is right up against Tucker, trying to close in as well. They got to be careful. Millington's got a Sny behind him as they come down towards the bus stop. Race leaders though, inching closer and closer, but seemingly then going back to the different distances at the end of the corners. Into these final few now. They will go here. It is Kneebone on the 11th lap of this sprint race here at Watkins Glen. It's 2 McLarens followed by 3 Ferraris as the white flag now flies at the Watkins Glen circuit. We started over in America. Big 5 third. We will get into that very, very shortly. As right now, it's very, very deep for KLF. And you can see here as we go over to it, that's Ramsell who loses out to Taylor. Ramsell contact with Taylor. As that is going to be unfortunate. Right now, though, from coast to coast, across the Atlantic, from Alton to Watkins, it's Kneebone for 2 sprints in a row. Who wins the Watkins Glen sprint race? Taylor had that contact with Ramsell. Ramsell now trying to go for it. He lost out, though. That's going to give Hicks Quantum Motorsport P number 3. Taylor will come home P4 with Ramsell P5. The 2 Greasy Bandits will come home P6 and 7 respectively. Hibs championship hopes are gonna go to race number 2. And the rest of the drivers are now gonna come to the line, as that is Betterson who bins his BMW on the final lap. You can't park there, sir. But unlucky on his birthday, from pole to P2. Not that bad of a drive for KLF. Kneebone 2 sprint races in a row. He has now won Alton and now Watkins. Can he convert it to race number 2? And that is Matt Hicks who will then... That is Hicks who will then be P number 3 for Quantum Motorsport. It's been a while since we saw a Quantum on the podium, and that is going to be nice and tidy. But it's Kneebone followed by KLF, Hicks, Taylor, Ramsell, John Gooday, Hibbs, Stardog, and then Saunders will round out the top 10. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna have a quick 10-minute intermission, and then qualifying and race 2 will be coming your way. We'll see you shortly. Welcome back, race fans, to the qualifying session for race number 2. Ahead here at Watkins Glen. We're watching Hibbs. He's the first driver out on the circuit, and it's going to be an interesting one. He can wrap it up tonight. He needed to win race number 1 to have the championship in race number 1. It is possible he can win it in race number 2. We will wait and see. As right now, the championship is right there with him. Snai is now out of contention, but Hibbs leads on 833 points. However, if I am reading this correctly, John Gooday needs to outscore Hibbs by 2 points. Otherwise, it is Hibbs' championship. So, Hibbs has all the ball. Hibbs has all the eggs in his basket to win this championship in race number 2. So we shall wait and see as they do go further and further around the circuit. And we continue here at Watkins Glen. The qualifying gets underway for the first lap to be run by Hibbs. The number 31 making his way round this infamous circuit here in New York. It's Watkins Glen. You head out the S's onto the backstretch and down to bus stop, aka the inner loop. And who will have the advantage? That is the true question, which we will get a answer through the inner loop and onto the outer loop. Trying to keep it tidy. The car naturally moves to the outside because it's big, it's heavy, it's a big boy. And then further round you go. Over the crest, then into laces, then into the toe you go. Into the braking zone, and then into the right-hander. Pro-Am is out here. They are here tonight. They are ready to go racing around this lovely circuit. But qualifying, you've got to get a good starting position. It's not like the sprint where you have reverse championship order. This comes down to you. Into the braking zone, into the right-hander, then now into the hill and then the left. Up you will go into turn number 11, then into turn number 12 and 13. 13 may be unlucky for some. Into the braking zones you will go hot and fast through the left-hander. Key factor to point out as well. You got to remember that inside line of the apex. That's going to be very important during the race. It's going to be nice and tidy here in qualifying as people tend to RTG over the line, and to the line you will go. Hibbs goes across. 1:45.227 is the lap time to beat. Snai is going to be the next one to the line. They will go P number 3 as Ramsell goes to the top. 1:45.075. Craig then goes slowest so far, being 1.8 off the top. Greaves goes P number 4, 1.185. Saunders is making his way around. Where will he go? Is he invalidated or will he get a lap time on? Saunders to the line, P number 6, 1.197 off the top. Flores trying to make his way around and then through these corners. Did I like Jurassic Park? What do you mean, did I like Jurassic Park? It depends which one you're on about. So then to the line, Stardog will come. P number 4 was 0.820 off the top time. Less than 2/10. There's actually Snai and Hibbs set identical lap times. Both being 1:45's 2:27. So that's identical lap times for these drivers. And the only reason Hibbs is ahead is because he set the lap time first. And the pole lap time of Ramsell, he's only fastest in sector 2 and 3. Fastest sector 1 goes to Greaves. So that's a key factor to remember. But Hibbs, looking to dethrone, will now come to the line. Goes to the top. 1:44.727. Snai, 5 temps down. Does not get a new lap time as fast. Yes, I did like the first one. As right now, Taylor's going to be coming round through the right-hander. Greaves goes P number 2. Ramsell now down to P number 3. Taylor is going to come to the line. They will stay P number 7. Craig making his way around the circuit. There is yellow flags flying. Who was that? There was somebody off at the toe. Probably a little bit. Probably don't look at somebody's toes. As right now, Flores still making their way around the circuit, but they are yet to get a lap time in. Roadrunner Motors, the 418. Still yet to get a lap time in. What can the Aston do? What can the Aston do? You got to remember as well, qualifying bans are in effect. I think KLF's going for a last to first challenge, I'll be honest, on his birthday, which sounds fun. Atherton is out there on the circuit now. But there is 3 qualifying bans here this evening. No, wait, no. He's doing a last to first challenge because he's got a qualifying ban. So KLF, Beto and Kneebone have a qualifying ban. So Kneebone has a qualifying ban after that sprint race win. So that's actually crazy. P number 1 and 2 in the sprint have qualifying bans. So that is going to be a key factor which they will need to sort out when it comes down to it. But for now, they're going to keep going. They're going to keep it tidy. And they are going to stay with each other at this moment in time throughout the rest of this circuit. As through the right-hander, he will now go through the outer loop as Flores sits P number 15 currently. Beck is out there on the circuit. He's having a nice little chill time. Ramsell is now up top, 1 minute 44.560 whilst we were looking away. Snipe P2 0.155 on the timing board just behind. So they are so it looks like we've got a battle between 4, possibly 5 drivers for pole position at this current moment in time. That, of course, being Ramsell, Snai, Hibbs, Greaves, and possibly Millington as Ramsell goes there. Millington, P number 2, I should say. 0.132 off the top lap time. That is not too bad from the Ferrari driver. It's a Cam Racing 1-2 at this moment in time. So Beck, the only driver, still yet to set a lap time here. They're going to be coming through the final corner now. Will they get a lap time in? We'll have to wait and see. As right now it's Ramsell who sits up top, 1 minute 44.560, followed by Millington and Snide, then Hibbs. Beck does not get a lap time in. Looks like they're going for the first flying lap now, as that is going to be a Beamer who comes out of the pit lane. So Snai now sits at the top, 1 minute 44.322. Unfortunately, we didn't get him crossing the line. Next cross the line, it will be this man. It's going to be Wolski. Had that moment in the sprint where they went into... No, that was somebody else. As Wolski sits P number 6 currently. Stardog making his way through the rest of this circuit. Another driver out there being Williams. They're looking to make an improvement. They had some pretty good battles. Heading throughout the sprint. What can they do what can they do in race number 2? They're going to be coming in the line now. Williams currently sits P number 14. Will go up to P number 13. Unlucky for some, maybe lucky for him tonight, as Ramsell is now back out there on the circuit. Williams will come over to the side. They will return to the pits. Kneebone, Bedison and KLF all have qualifying bans. No idea why I put Bedison down as Beto. Names are always confusing, chat. I will be honest. Names are always confusing, as they are going to continue here. Ramsell's right there with him as well. Kneebone down there. No idea why Matthew's car is there. He's in spectator mode. As right now, Flores making his way right through this circuit as well. So these corners are going to be vital, especially these ones, as there is a car off. That was the 96, I do believe. That would have been Greaves off at the inner, off on the outer loop. As we continue here, 4 minutes. Yeah, 4 minutes remain here in qualifying. So you're going to be getting these final runs in. 1 minute 40. 1 minute 44. Currently the lap's out to be 1 minute 44. 3:22. And that is the key factor. Can anybody beat that time? Because if they do not, then it's Sny who will start on pole. Millington and Ramsell P number 2. That's an interesting one because they'll have 2 Cam Racing drivers just behind the leader. So, yeah. But right now, the Aston Martin is going to come round. Ramsell resets to the pit lane. Stardug has gone to P number 3, splitting the 2 Cam Racing drivers of Millington and Ramsell. Going to be coming in the line now is Flores. Goes to the line, does not go faster. They will stay where they are on the grid order. Currently coming to the line is going to be, well, onto the outer loop, I should say, is going to be the driver of Taylor. Slight improvement further down the field as well. Number 96 of Greaves, currently making his way through the toe, as he is invalidated that lap. As right now, we're going to be watching Craig. Good old Craig for Team Merlot. Through the right-hander, they will now go. The McLaren trying to improve everything as all that you need. As if you do like the race in action that you see, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Click that bell for notifications, because we bring you the action every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 8 PM UK time. Of course, it's also brought to you by Design Manchester and Audio Sport. You can find their information in the bio of this VOD, aka live stream. And of course, if you would like to get involved with us, don't forget to go on SimGrid and join us at SimPlay Motorsport. And you can also join us in the Discord server. Get involved with the community, join the racing action. It will be nice to have you. Hibbs now sits P number 3. He's made an improvement. Can he get another one in? He's got Atherton right in front of him, trying to make his way through this circuit, trying to get everything that he needs to. But through the left-hander, we will now go. Atherton is right there. Atherton moves over to the right-hand side. So Hibbs is going to be trying to improve as much as he can. Into the toe, but did he get held up? That is the key factor. Sny, the current pole sitter, making his way through the circuit, as he is not going to get another lap time in. He's off, and he will re-RTG. He's not going to get another lap. He's not going to get another lap. That is unlucky. Ramsell, now, he will have enough time for one more lap, but will he go to the pole here? Goes to the line. He does not. He's going to have to go again. But that is a blue. He is invalidated. That is Ramsell, I do believe. Will he get another lap time in? We'll wait and see. Hibbs making his way around the circuit into these final few corners. Enough lap time to go for one more after if he's got enough fuel. Into the right-hander, through the apex, onto the exit, under the goal bowling sign, and to the line. Only P3. What about Millington? Millington to the line, goes P3. 0.263 up behind him. 2-3 for the Cam Racing boys, as Greaves now making his way around the circuit as well. He is invalidated. Next across the line is going to be John Godet, infamous in qualifying. Can he do it tonight? No, he cannot. Only P6. He needs to outscore his teammate by 2 points tonight. Otherwise, it will, in race number 2, I should say. Otherwise, it is Hibbs' championship to lose. Trying to make their way through as well is Taylor. Got to be coming to the line now as the checkered flag flies. Here in qualifying, Taylor to the line, stays P13. So the real question now comes into fact. Sny sits up there currently, 1 minute 44. 3-2-2. It now comes down to these guys. It's Ramsell, it's Millington, it's Hibbs. Ramsell is going to be the first of the drivers, but he pulls it into the pits. That is not going to be enough time. Will he be there? Will he not? It's Hibbs who is up next, trying to make their way through. Our turn number 11 now. Hibbs has the championship here. Can he get it though? He can wrap it up tonight, or will it go to the finale at Donington Park? They've got race 2 coming up. Qualifying would give him a good start. Goes to the line, goes to the time, and it's only P number 2. Less than a tenth, but it's not quite enough. Who will come next? It's got to be Millington, but they will pull over. They have not done what they needed to. They will start in P number 4. What will it be? Where this man, could Greaves pull off a shocker? I highly doubt it with what we've seen. He sits P8 currently. Sny currently sits up at the top. Goes to the line as the checkered flag flies. Greaves only P number 3 though to dethrone the Cam Racing boys. So that is going to be Sny P1, Hibbs P2, Greaves out of nowhere for a P number 3. But it is this man who will be starting on pole position. It is Sny, followed by Hibbs, followed by Greaves. And we've got race 2 coming your way very, 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 very shortly. As already getting predictions that the money is on Hibbs. We will have to wait and see as that reset for some reason.
30 seconds.
But the drivers will get going in 30 seconds. Going over the championship for you, it's Hibbs who leads on
20 seconds.
It's Hibbs who leads on 833 points. It is then going to be John Gooday who lines up in P number 2 in the drivers' championship on 665. He needs to outscore Hibbs by 2 points to take it to Donington Park. It's then Sny who starts on pole, followed by Ramsell and Millington. Greaves, Flem Speed 1, Beck, Stardug and Saunders rounds out the top 10 in the Drivers' Championship. Then Taylor Varga, Richie Flores, Wolski Argent, Craig Tucker, Heho and Old Sim Racer rounds out the top 20 in the Drivers. Greasy Bandits have the championship locked in, but the championship fight is not done yet in the teams. It is between Cloud9 Racing, Everso and Stage 2 Motorsport P number 4 in the teams. As right now, we will wait and see. It was Sny who was very fast in race number 1. Unfortunately, I had a few incidents here and there. But right now, let's go through your starting grid order for you. Sny, who had a not so good race number 1 after a few incidents. He starts on pole position with Hibbs, who can wrap up the championship right alongside him. It's then Greaves and Ramsell. It's then Greaves P number 3 who went and dethroned the 2 Cam Racing boys, Ramsell and Millington, 4 and 5 respectively, will start just behind him. Stardog then sits P number 6 with John Gooday, who needs to outscore Hibbs by 2 points to take the championship to Donington Park. He sits P number 7 with Wolski, P number 8. Craig then sits P number 9 with Varga to round out the top 10 in the 5th row of the grid in P number 10 for Malamus Racing. Then Saunders, Flores, Taylor, Beck, Williams, Tucker, Hicks, Atherton, KLF, Betterson and Kneebone. Kneebone, Betterson and KLF all had qualifying bans. KLF and Kneebone Also, the top two in the sprint race now switched round, and it is going to be an interesting one. We saw what Kneebone and KLF were like in the sprint. Can they scythe through the field? That is the true question here at the good old Watkins Glen circuit. We crossed the Atlantic from Alton Park. We will cross the Atlantic again for the race next week. But here, live, under the sunshine, with a little bit of cloud, unlike the GT4s yesterday, which was wet, wet, wet. It is going to be Watkins Glen. It is a BMW. That will be on pole, followed by a McLaren. It's already a little bit far in front, actually, is Snai. Possibly trying to get a bit of tyre warmth, as you see a little bit of a wiggle there from the Beamer. So when one man gives, another man gets. But what happens when you take that away? The Hibbs and John Gooday have got the championship in the teams racked up. Now the spotlight goes to this man. He is looking to take home the Drivers' Championship tonight. All he has to do is drive the car and hope. This is where it counts. This is where it happens. Of course, everything is only provisional in case of incidents. But now we go here. As the formation lap comes to an end, all the drivers will go double file. And here we go. Further and further qualifying ban is done in qualifying. But here at Watkins Glen, it's double file. It is all eyes to the lights. Boogity, 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 let's go racing for the feature race in Watkins, and away we go. Stein gets a very good start. Not so much his Hibbs. He's already got Greaves right alongside him. Already looked for the move round the outside. It's going to be Ramsell. Trying to keep it there with him. 5:01 there and 59 right behind him as well. A little bit of an off for Wolski right there. Flores going a bit of a glitchy doo-dah. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark, as we continue round. Very good start there from the Quantum Motorsport car of Hicks. He's made his way through. He's trying to climb up that field as quickly as possible. Down towards the bus stop. Flores right there with him as well. Trying to make the way through. Greaves is out. Snai leads. Followed by Hibbs. Then Greaves. Everybody's making their way through. A little bit of a flash of the lights. That's going to be a dive down the inside from Wolski. Look for the move down the inside into the outer loop. Will not work out that time. Right now, though, these guys are locked in a battle. Ramsell's got past Greaves, but Greaves isn't going to give it up. John Gooday is right behind him as well. Here comes Millington. Looks for the move down the inside. Not going to work out. But you can already see the train starting to form. As was there an incident back here that we missed? Because the front end of one of those cars looks very, very spicy. Flores moves to the outside, trying to look for that. Trying to look for a place to get past. Taylor's right there with him as well. Race leaders Hibbs and Snai are going to be locked in this battle. They're right there with him. As you saw before, Millington trying to get past Fat Bloke. It did not work out. Snai, of course, having the fastest lap because they are leading this first lap here at Watkins Glen, and that is going to be major time, which may be unlucky. Looks like the front two started to drive away. Ramsell trying to keep with him. The battle between Greaves, Millington and John Gooday is going to continue. They got Stardog right behind him as well. Wolski started to drive away a little bit. Here comes Beck right on the back of Taylor. Down into the right-hander. Onto the back stretch. He's got to pull to the inside. He's onto the marbles. You don't do that. We saw it in Turbo. But we continue. He goes for it. Tries to look for the dive down the inside of the bus stop. But it's not going to work out that lap. Looking for it into the outer loop. We will go. but Atherton trying to defend now. Betterson and Kneebone, as well as Craig and KLF. KLF is seeming to have a thing as Hicks has fallen back. Was there an incident that we missed for Hicks? That is a big question, as unfortunately he has fallen further and further back. John Godet still locked in the battle with Greaves, as Millington has finally got the move done and he has got past. But as we continue on here at Watkins Glen, into the right-hander, Stardog now has to be careful because he's got a fast. It's an Aston Martin, a proper British engineering, looking to come right behind him. He's looking for that bumper, looking for that move, and that overspeed there, you can see it. And now it's going to be so much speed, but backs out of it, not wanting to risk it in the bus stop. That is Betterson, who has had a moment. Just as we were cycling through the grid order, that was a slight moment there for Betterson, it seemed. Right now, here comes the Aston Martin of Flores. Taylor's trying to get past, trying to look for it down the inside. That is going to be Taylor past Flores. So you got to remember, they have to make a mandatory pit stop. Oh, what has happened to Craig? That is a big old bump on the front. As here we go. Hicks is on the back. Hicks is on the back of KLF. KLF is being held up by Atherton. Trying to get that move done. It looks like they may go 3 wide here. Tries to go for the move round the outside. KLF cuts him off. Atherton's going to be right there for him. Nice little bump stop it seems, but also kind of a moving chicane as KLF moves to the inside, gets it done. Atherton loses the rear end on the exit. Tries not to rejoin to have too many moments. Betterson, major front end damage. He's into the pit lane. Is that going to be a retirement? So as we're past 5 minutes, it's Sny who leads, followed by Hibbs and Ramsell. But right now, Ramsell is right there, trying to make the move past. He's on the back of him, trying to get each move done with each lap that passes. Trying to keep it there with him as they continue down this backstretch, aka the boot. Well, these drivers do continue into the left-hander and then into the right-hander one more time. Into the braking zone and into the right-hander. Further and further onto the next lap they will go. Sny's leading, followed by Hibbs. Hibbs is trying to close in right behind him. Also got to be careful. Ramsell's right there with him. Moves to the right-hand side to break that slipstream. Did not want to give the Ferrari behind him that bit of an advantage. Onto the exit of turn number 1. Out of 90 into the S's. We will now have a bit of slipstream. A nice little battle may begin to unfold. Ramsell continues on the back of Hibbs. McLaren versus Ferrari. Slipstream is right there with him. Ramsell is going to opt for the inside line. Hibbs is going to be right there with him. Going to be going wheel to wheel, side by side, down the back stretch, down towards bus stop. It's going to be a lovely move by Ramsell, who gets himself up into P number 2. Oh, and just as we go to it, that's Beck off and into the barrier. That was extremely, extremely unfortunate. Seemingly a loss of downforce through the bus stop. And that is going to be Beck, who drops down the order. Loses 1, loses 2, loses 3, loses 4, possibly a 5th. Here, possibly a 6th. KLF is right by him. He's lost loads of positions here. But as these guys do continue going, it is going to be one more lap after another lap. Down and through the back stretch, out of 90, into the S's. This is where it's going to count between these drivers. Each lap is a different spectacle when it comes down to it. As right now, if it stays as it is, the championship is in the hands of Hibbs. He has technically got the championship in his hands on provisional due to penalties. So if it stays like this for the rest of the race, he will have a very, very nice time after this race, popping open the champagne for the second week in a row, considering they got the team sorted out in Alton Park. As you see John Godet there, in the green Aston Martin, trying to make his way past Stardog, who's on the back of Greaves. So, 10 minutes have elapsed here now here at Watkins Glen. The key factor is, when are people going to make their pit stops? Obviously in the pit window. But you know what I mean, are they going to opt for earlier? Are they going to opt for later? What is the tyres like out there? Because it's a 22-degree track, 16-degree ambient temperature. Cloudy with the sun and an optimum track surface. Lucky Pro always getting the good weather. But as these battles continue here, that's the key factor when it comes down to it. Who's going to have a major advantage? Right now, you see KLF trying to close in on Beck, but seemingly opened up since the past that last timing board. This is the battle for P number 5. Stardog versus John Godet. The gaps up at the top have opened up a little bit. That's gone to 1.2 seconds behind Snye and Ramsell, 1.2 seconds behind Hibbs and Ramsell. So 5.7 then to Greaves, but here we go. It looks like John Godet's going to continue to try and get the move done here. But the real question is, does he want to get this move done early or later? You want to get it done early, personally, in my opinion, because then you can get the floodgates open. As the floodgates do open right there, that's a lovely opportunity for John Godet to look for the inside line. He will look for it. He's going to have the outside line, but that is going to be Stardog, who goes deep in turn number 12. Through turn number 13 onto the main straight. That is John Godet into P number 5. So, continuing down into bus stop, we have Hibbs, who's now closing in on Ramsell once again. A little bit further down the field, as that is KLF, who comes into the pit lane. A little bit further down the field, we do have Flores still trying to close down on Saunders. Also got Stardog now trying to close in on Greaves. Oh, good day, I should say. So, this race will continue. We've got Stardog, we've got John Gooday. All now closing in on Greaves. Greaves is going to be looking in that rear view mirror. He's got to be wondering, okay, I've got John Gooday coming up behind me. I'm sorry, John Google. And then it's going to be interesting because they're going to try and get this move done. They're going to go down the main straight now. BMW versus Aston versus Ferrari. It's an interesting trio. When it actually is looked into, the Ferrari has a major advantage through the corners, but the straights may go to Ferrari over the BMW, but the Beamer seemingly a more well-rounded car. It comes down to each driver really, because it's not the car, it's the driver, and each moment which you select is yours of your own. So Greaves is now on the defensive. Also got to be careful as Saunders does have Flores right behind him. Looked like they were going to be very, very close through the bus stop. Did not work out that lap round. John Gooday still going to try stick with him. Flores on the back of Saunders still. Heading through laces into toe. And then closer and closer as actually that is Nebo who has got past Williams. So that was a move which we unfortunately missed, but they have now got past. And further, we will see what happens. Him still closing in on Ramsell. Gooday on Greaves. As Stardog seemingly dropping back now. 1.1 when it was 0.8 last lap at this same moment. Coming onto the main straight one more time. Trying to stick with him. But down this main straight, the slipstream will be there. So, it really depends. As through the right-hander, onto the middle stretch, it will be John Gooday, who does use the track extension, which you can do quite a bit. Here at Watkins Glen, he's now going to have the inside line through 3, into the right-hander of 4, onto the back stretch. That little wide bit, which he did lose, which he did use, is going to be interesting. We unfortunately did lose Millington in the process of this race so far, and that is John Gooday, who seemingly just couldn't get past Greaves. But now it seems because of that, Stardog is now going to close in. Flores opts to pit. He's got to pit again in the pit window. That is the rule. As Pedersen came in, fixed damage, same with KLF. Did Flores do the same, or was it a fuel miscalculation? That is the true question, which we may never know. Through the right-hander, we will now go, trying to close in that gap as much as possible. And as much as you need to. Further and further, you're going to close in on this lap. Trying to get on the back of Greaves one more time. Is he going to use the track extension like he did last lap? No, he will not. Greaves goes wide though. John Gooday seemingly taking advantage into turn number 2. Through the left-hander of turn number 3. He gets it done just before the apex. John Gooday up into P number 4. Greaves not going to give it up though. He is not done yet. John Gaudet is going to have to open up that gap. Stardog's going to be right behind him as well. Looking to get an advantage on Greaves, but he goes a little bit deeper into outer loop. So John Gaudet seemingly trying to open up that gap here. We are at the 1/3 through mark, so we've still got a bit of racing action to go. That is a very, very bumped up front end for Wolski. Hello, what's happened there? As Williams now closing in on Saunders, trying to use as much advantage as he can as they head around this circuit, trying to close in on these little bits, trying to close in on these little gaps. That is the true question though. Who is going to come out on top? Because sure, you can be here for a while, but we still got another 40 minutes of racing action to go as we head around this circuit, around Watkins Glen, and on a good old British evening, or American afternoon, whatever time it is for you, anywhere, we thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hit that bell for notifications. And of course, it's brought to you by Design Manchester and Audio Sport. You can find out all about them and where to find them in the link in the bio. And of course, you can find out more about SimPlay Motorsport. Feel free to join us on the Sim Grid and the Discord server to get involved in the racing action or just hand out with the community. As it is going to be Millington who is still back. And they now have Millington back in the pits. He had a disconnect, it seems. So we'll wait and see. So, one more time, going to continue here. We've got Stardog on the back here. John Gaudet has opened up the gap now to Greaves as well. They're going to continue. Stardog still keeping it within a second of a driver in front. As also a little bit further behind, apologies that we're missing this, that is Williams, who has got past Saunders. As it seems like Millington has disappeared again, internet problems, so that is extremely unfortunate for the Cam Racing boys here this evening. You gotta feel bad for him. Like, I know it's not the same, but a similar thing happened to Hibbs in the. Luckily enough, Hibbs was able to get back into their thing, but I'm getting flashbacks to Nürburgring when Hibbs had the issue at Nürburgring as well, where they ended up losing out on the race win. So internet problems can cause a major issue for the internet problems can cause a major issue when it comes down to it, and you gotta feel bad for it, especially when sim racing means as much to us as it does to everybody who is either here watching, live in the race, sign a commentary box, hello, and then going to round this right-hander. You gotta feel bad for him, and we can only hope that they can get back in, as going to continue around this infamous circuit of Watkins Glen, over the crest, down into the heel, and trying to continue around. Stardog is still chasing on the back of Greaves, as a lot of people, was there incidents? Because Flores is in, Millington's back in, and Saunders into the pit lane. Flores has been sat in the pits for a while. I think he has opted for this race to be done. Also got Varga chasing, we've also got Williams chasing down the back of Tucker. Also got Taylor on Wolski. You can see these guys, they're coming through bus stop now. As here we go, through turn number 2, through turn number 3, into turn number 4, through the right-hander, onto the back stretch. The McLaren is going to have a boost, it seems, but it's a Macca versus a Macca. It's a purple Macca versus a light blue Macca with a bit of orange on there, and that as well. Through the right-handers, we will now go, and then into the corners one more time. Through these little sections of the circuit, trying to make their way through. Also got Taylor now on the back of Wolski, heading out of the heel and into these corners. Got to be careful of Williams as well. Also got to be careful of Williams as well. They're now coming into tow, and right on the back of him, Taylor is on the back of Wolski, and Andy Taylor has support in the chat from Mike Matthews. Maybe that will be a little bit of inspiration to get that move done. Through the right-hander as you hit the apex perfectly. Onto the main straight, and the pit window is now open. Box, 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 box. Make your call. You've got to come into the pits. You've got to come into the pits. You've got to make the move, and it is infamous. You've got to be careful, though, because it is a mandatory pit stop. 25-second minimum. Some drivers may opt to take tyres, which will take it up to 30. Refueling is required. As into the pit lane, we saw this happen in race number 1. Could it happen again? The late braking can be a key aspect. Who is going to have the advantage? The race leaders swapped in race number 1 by pit stops. Tucker in, Williams in. Which of these two drivers will have the advantage? KLF in, Betterson in. Flores stays in the pit lane like they have done for a while. I believe they have now retired from the race. As Aberdeen, hopefully you can get that bike issue sorted. Hopes are going to you, man. As of course, pit window, we have 8 minutes 46 on it remaining, 45. So we'll wait and see. As it is Snai who leads, as actually Ramsell's going to get held up here. That was a car very slow on the apex coming into the pits. How much did he lose there? John Gray stays out. Hibbs stays out. Greaves is right there with him. He's going to stay out. Stardog calls it. He's coming into the pits. Kneebone's still yet to choose. Wolski is going to stay out. As well as Taylor. So, here's the thing. The gaps are opening up. Tucker on the back of Varga now. They're going to be careful. The McLaren is coming up to Varga. He's on the back of him. They have both made their pit stop, so this will be for position. So, further and further, over the crest we now go, as actually, that is a stop-go 30! That is a stop-go 30, and that is Beck. That is a absolute killer when it comes to racing. That is Beck for Stage 2 Motorsport. That is unlucky for him in Watkins. So the key factors, everybody but the leader now into the pits. Hib stays out, so they are going to wait. But race leader is Snai into the pits. Wolski stays out. John Godet now gets moving from the pit box. Greaves is right there with him. Is he going to get moving? Yes, he will. He gets let off for Jackson. Off you go. Oh, is that Millington trying to rejoin? Oh, Millington is back on the circuit, ladies and gentlemen. Millington is back on the circuit.
We are halfway through, not over yet.
So, going to continue here through the right-hander, trying to keep it on track as much as possible. Key factor is the top four all yet to pit, as well as Atherton and Craig. Atherton and Craig are going to fall further back. How will the leaders do? Wolski calls it. He's going to come into the pit lane now. What about Nebo? Nebo is 12 seconds behind him. Where will that call be made? Ramsell's behind Snai. You can see him in the background, trying to close in as quickly as possible. There's Wolski. You can see the guys coming across. Hello. As actually, Hicks is yet to pit. So as these drivers do continue around the circuit, all the gaps have now opened up. Oh, whoa, that is a... Who is that? Is that... Who is that? 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 Wait. It was a Beamer. Who was run? Was it Saunders? Where's Saunders? Varga? Saunders. Yes, it was Saunders. That was a real sketchy position. So, right now, these drivers are going to do everything that they can. There are no real gaps at the moment. Saunders is getting lapped, so he's getting lapped by Ramsell. Oh, I did not mean to click that. Blue flags! So Ramsell makes his way past. Ladies and gentlemen, I need to go for a quick loo break. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it on board with Ramsell as he tries to close in. Unless there's a shorter gap. Yes, there is. I'm gonna leave it on with Varga as he tries to close in. As I'm gonna run loo real quick.
The window is now closed.
And we are back. Well, I'm back. The racing action continued. And you know what, chat? The gaps have opened up, so let's have a nice little chat, shall we? Let's have a nice little chat. How are we all doing tonight, viewers? How are we all doing? Has everybody seen the new BTCC liveries? You know what? I know somebody's. And you know what? Let's keep on going. So, chat. Let's have a nice little chat. So, we're gonna keep on going, and yeah. So, really, yeah, you know what, chat, let's, honestly, like, we were talking about the liveries earlier on this season for the actual drivers. So we'll wait and see what actually happens here, because one of my key... This may just be a personal thing, but I think a livery can be a big factor when it comes to a driver and the representation of them. Did somebody just disconnect, or was that a moment with ACC doing ACC things? As right now we are going to keep on going, as actually that's going to be a move. We got Team Murloc battle going on here. That's going to be Tucker, who will look for the inside line, but we will look. Oh, did he get the move done? Did he get the move done? Tucker, does Tucker have damage, or does Craig have damage? Nope, it's still 0.5. Am I seeing things? Nope, Craig's the driver in front. Okay. Of course he did. Of course he did. Why wouldn't he? Hey up, somebody's drifting. Hey up, hello Varga. Varga into the barrier. We saw that battle between the two teams, between the team of Team Murloc. Rear end slips out on Varga, and he ends up in the barrier. Is that, yep, I think he's coming in. Is that too much damage? Was that too much damage on the side of the Beamer? That rear end damage may be a key factor, but right now the battle between Tucker and Craig is going to continue here at this battle, here at Watkins Glen. It is going to move to the inside line, here down towards the bus stop, and he is going to get it done through the right-hander and into the bus stop this time round, and it is going to be good. As, yes, you are right, we have been watching that. Hibbs has been closed in by John Goodey, so that is a key factor whilst we've been watching the times, and that is unfortunate. Hibbs had a very decent race one, but now John Goodey's closing in, so he is catching up majorly. As the battle does continue here, they're gonna be right with each other. These guys, they're having a lovely little battle. We saw the Team Murloc boys getting that attack done, as it seems like they've backed off now because Craig lost out to Tucker. Tucker's got that move done. He's starting to open up that gap. But right now, it is... Hey, oh, he's moving out of the way. Sny, though, Sny from pole has had this race in control. He's had it in control the entire time. As we come into as we're in the final third now of this race, and he's done 23 laps. He's on lap 24, and he's just... You can't really knock the man. There's not much I can say apart from he knows how to control that car. You can't knock him. It was said earlier by the chat that Sny had a very, very good race around Watkins Glen. Like, he always races good around here. So the key factor is Sny is just in control when it comes to this circuit. He knows what he needs to do. He knows how to do it and where to do it. So, that's all you need, really. As, right now, it's going to be Sny who's making his way around, trying to keep it in control. And through the left-hander, one more time. Sny... I can't knock him. I'm trying to say other things, but I can't really. Sny's just in control. He's done everything that he needs to do. Hibbs, right now, John Goday needs to outscore him by 2 points. So, as long as Hibbs can defend, Hibbs should have this championship in his grasp at the end of this race. Of course, even after the race, it will be provisional because of the way that it works. Like, you've got to, of course, have the whatchamacallit. You got to ensure that all the penalties are accounted for and everything. So, yeah. But right now, here at Watkins Glen, Hibbs is in control, Ramsell's in control, Sny's in control, everybody's in control. However, here's the thing. Donington Park next week, I know that a certain somebody, aka Sweet and Sticky, absolutely love that circuit. So, it's going to be interesting to see what will happen with that circuit when we go to Donington Park next week. Of course, championship may be wrapped up by then if Hibbs continues to do what he's doing for the rest of this track. But other than that, I would say he's having a pretty decent time. As the gaps have opened, that is Betterson, who is round. Hello. We saw the yellow flags. That's Betterson. Round on the exit of toe, and that is a big chicane. That's a big chicane, which is right there. And yes, that is very true. A big shout out to Millington. Disconnected, and the 7 laps down, technically 8, you would think. I know, yeah, about 8 laps, 7-8 laps down. They had internet issues, they disconnected, and they're back in the race. So, they're back. Like, some people would just not return and would give up at that point. But Millington has persevered, and he's sticking it out there. He's staying out there on the circuit. He's doing everything. He's got it all. He's having I wouldn't say he's having a decent race because he's last, but he's having a good race for what happened. Considering what happened, he's having a good race. So, also, can we just point this out? This is crazy. Everybody inside the top 10 is practically, I think, a minute. Everybody, in fact, where is Sny? Well, Tucker's right there. There's Sny. So, blue flag's coming up. So, once Sny gets this move done, that's going to be everybody P12 and down will be lapped. Which is crazy to think about, considering it's only an hour race. That is very true. If 10 people disconnect, then Millington's inside the top 10. Fair enough. That is very true. Scream if you want to go faster. Yeah, that's something they said. Scream if you want to go faster. That is something they say on the waltzers. This is not a waltzer ride as Tucker moves to the side. Sny gets past. Everybody P12 and down has been lapped now. So, right now, it's going to continue here. They keep on going. They keep it tidy. This is the thing about Watkins Glen, though. It's nice, and that's the best livery on the grid. As all having a nice time. Kneebone, actually, I just want to point this out. Kneebone won the sprint Started at the back due to a qualifying ban. And now sits P number 9. Right now, this man is my driver of the day. That's all I'm going to say. This man right here, right now, is my driver of the day because, oh my god, is he having a good race. Like, in fact, how many races has Kneebone done? Let me go to the spreadsheet. Let me go to the sheet. Because I'm pretty sure this man has actually not done that many races. Or has he? And I just haven't been paying attention to him. Which, if that's true, I am so sorry. Kneebone. Why can I not see Kneebone? Why can I not see it? Huh. There he is. Yeah, Kneebone. We're in round number 11. We're in round number 11. This is only his 4th round. This is only Kneebone's 4th round this season. So, the fact that he is not... The fact that he joined in the latter half, and he's up here with all the drivers, is really a testament to this driver's skill. In that lovely Renault-inspired livery, if I do say so myself. So as we do continue, we've got less than 10 minutes remaining now. And the gap to the leader is 4.944. Well, we're going to get an update on that because it's changed. Now it's 6.495. Snai just gained a whole second in that final sector. He just gained a whole second in that final sector. Like, he opened up that gap. Snai, how are you how are you so good around this circuit? Not that all the drivers are, but Snai specific, he's just getting another 3 tenths. He's just opened up another 3 tenths. Snai, how are you so good around this circuit? I want to know. I want to know your tactics because, oh my god, I'm jealous. I can't go 5 laps around there without crashing in the bus stop. As 8 minutes remain. But right now, gotta continue. I've been watching Kneebone for a bit. You know what, chat? I'll give you guys the option. We'll go what we'll do. Who is coming around right now? We'll go on board with Grease for a lap. Any chance we can see Snai? You know what? I was just about to say, chat, I'm going to give you guys the option. There you go. I'll give you Snai. Oh my god, 7.477. He's got a 747. Since when was Snai a Boeing? Hey up, Taylor's in the pits. Why is Taylor in the pits? Is somebody having ping issues? Because I swear I keep on seeing a BMW pop in the pits. Like, it's glitching in and out of existence. So the race leader's going round him. That was very wide on the exit. Here's the thing with turn number 1. I'm always sketchy about it because one lap you could be fine, the other lap you could get a goddamn whatchamacallit. You could get a warning. So that is a key factor. So with with 5 minutes 5 seconds left to go, let's have a look. You know what? Let's have a hey up, hey up, hey up, hey up, hey up, hey up. We got a battle coming in. We got a battle, fine. We got a battle happening, as it is going to be KLF versus Atherton. We're going to have a battle in the final 5 minutes. Looks for the inside, not going to work out that time. Looks for the inside line almost on the exit, maybe. As he's got the slipstream down the main straight, looks for the inside line, down into 90s. Down into 90. And down and done, nice and tidy, nice and clean. That's how you do it. That's KLF up into P number 14. Hey, that rhymed. But right now, it's not done yet. Atherton looked like he was going to come back through the corners, but not going to work there. Blue flags, as that is KLF who makes his way through. That is a Ferrari? Trying to figure out who that is behind. Can you let me see the other car, please? Oh, no, that's the other McLaren. It's not Beck. Is it Williams? No, that's Williams. There we go. So, Williams, down in P number 10, is coming to the back of KLF. That's actually crazy. Like, it's crazy how much of a difference Watkins Glen can bring. As here we go, we got Beto. Well, Vargas there. Hey, up. Here comes Sny. Yeah, you know what? Where is Hicks? Hicks is P number 9. To be fair, yeah, you can vote in the chat if you don't agree on the poll. That is very true. Hicks has also had a very good race. That is a good shout, actually. Apologies I didn't talk about that. Matt, please don't kick me out of Quantum. Thank you. As right now, we, over the crest, down the hill. Hicks has had a very good race as well, actually. Yeah, very true, actually. Podium the 17th to 9th. Yeah. You know what, now that you're saying that, I would say Hicks driver of the day. I think so. And you know what? Let's have a look at these. Let's have a look. We're in race number 2. Let's have a look at the lap times that the leader is doing. And can we just say, look at that. Oh, well, he invalidated the last 2 laps. But from lap number 1 to P30, look at that consistency. .145 the entire race, apart from a few 146s and 147s there.
Leaders on final lap now.
And speaking of consistency, he's entered the final lap. And I think I'm correct in my assumption. Hibbs will win the championship. On provisional. I might get confirmation on that. If it stands like this, would Hibbs win the championship? But we'll give the flowers. We will give the flowers to Snai. Very true. Consistency is king. That is very, very, very true. And no errors made. Yeah, like, when you look at that, like, he's coming into tow, so I could do this. When you look at that, in race 2, look at that consistency. He's on lap number 34, and he's only had 5 invalid laps. No, 4. That is consistency and no errors made on another level. And that is what gets you wins like this. Wins like this do not come out of nowhere. You have to be consistent. You have to be precise. You have to have everything in your hands. And as the white flag flies around the Watkins Glen circuit, GT4's finished last night. Pros are tomorrow night. But tonight, it's this man. It's his hour. It's his time. Complete consistency. Pole to the win is Snai, who wins the Watkins Glen GP. Ramsell will come home P number 2 for Cam Racing. His Millington teammate lost out earlier on. But Hibbs is going to pull to the side, or is he formation all the way home? That is actually... That's John Godet, who finishes ahead of Hibbs. He pulled to the side, so John Godet finishes P3. Hibbs P4. Was that a it was either 05 or 6. Was that an 05-06 Ferrari situation? Or was he letting him past? John Godet P3, Hibbs P4. We'll let the calculations run in the background. So, is the championship going to Donington or no? That is a true question. As the rest of the drivers are going to come to the line. Hicks has had a very good race. He'll come around the final corner now for Quantum Motorsport. And he will come to the line. P number 9 for him. Williams making his way around. He will come on P number 10. KLF on his birthday. Unlucky in the sprint. He got P2 in the sprint. He will come home P number 14 here. He started right at the back, so not too bad of a race for him. When we're in retrospective, KLF comes home P number 14, and Williams will come home there. Millington had a disconnect earlier on, but he continued on 8 laps down, but still comes to the line. That is P number 20. And you can see all the drivers, they are right there with him, as we shall wait and see.
We'll wait and see. We will wait and see.
But we will wait and see. We will wait and
as
see.
We will have to wait as the calculations are run in the back. We are here, we are ready, and we might as well get straight into it. John Gooday, P number 3 on the line. That was very interesting. Talk us through it. John? I can hear John in the background. John, are you here, or are we going to go with KLF?
I am here. Go KLF first if you want.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go.
Right, starting with the sprint then, we'll go to you, KLF.
Hello.
Not so much in the second race, but very good in the sprint. On the birthday as well for yourself. You got unlucky with the pit stops in the sprint, but talk us through your afternoon and these two races.
Race 1 was almost faultless. I didn't make any mistakes. Just Kneebone was faster on the pits, simple as, and it was like a second or two. He obviously hit his marks better than I did. So today it was more Oscar Piastri than it was James Hunt and Jean Alesi. Not a win on the birthday, but a podium. So I can't complain. I did the best I could. Didn't put a foot wrong. Kneebone was faster.
Yeah, well, fair enough. And you were talking about that. We've got Donington Park next week. How do you think it's going to vary with the circuit? Because, of course, Watkins Glen, it's nice and wide. You've got the elevation changes. But you've also got the elevation changes at Donington, but it is very, very tight compared to it. And it's also got those two hairpins at the end. What are you really planning going into that?
I'm looking forward to Donny. I only signed up for 3 races this season, and Donny was one of them. Purely one because I love the track, and secondly because in my history I've always gone well there. Yes, it's undulations like Watkins, but yeah, it's a different challenge. The temperatures are going to be different, so on and so forth. But you know, hoping for a good result. I got unlucky in race 2 tonight. Somebody was lagging pretty bad, and they thought they were Doctor Who, and materialised right on top of my car, which gave me front end damage and 45 seconds in the pit. So an unlucky race 2. But Donny next week, yeah, you know, hopefully if I can keep my nose clean and things go my well, then we can have some solid results.
Well, fair enough. We also have, of course, what was it like out there for you? Of course, you got to commentate on the rain yesterday.
Yeah.
It was nice and dry out there. How was the car handling?
Yeah, that wasn't me commentating. That would have been Dan. That was my son. Yeah. He was commentating last night. I'm tomorrow night with Matt. So join us tomorrow night, which it'll be dry because pro weather is always perfect. It always is. Funny how that kind of works out that way. I mean, yeah, track was good. Do you know what I mean? Track was, yeah, as I said, I made no mistakes of my own. So yeah, car did exactly what I wanted it to, where I wanted it to. So yeah, as I say, it's as good as it gets out there today.
Well, fair enough. I apologise about that. I saw Davis.
That's all right. Ron Davis.
Yeah, it gets confusing.
Yeah.
That is all I have for you. Before I let you go, is there anybody you would like to give a thanks to?
I'd like to thank Dan for giving me some help, sharpening up my game a little bit, and you know, I'd like to thank Matt for helping me with a bit of race engineering this evening, and I'd just like to say thank you to everyone on the community. I've been involved in this community almost from the start, and it's a great place to be, and I'm hoping that everyone gets involved with the Nordschleife for the 24 hours for cancer. That's what I'm kind of hoping, and we can all come together, and all the little differences that we have, where we have little knocks on track, can be put to one side, so we can do something really good for cancer research on the 24-hour. But of course, you can tune in tomorrow night, and I will drip on more about it tomorrow night with Matt.
Most definitely. We'll see you and Matt tomorrow night in the commentary box for the pros, who always seem to get the best weather for some reason.
Of course they do. How does that work? Why is that? Funny that. What's that all about?
I have no idea. Well, I shall let you go. Have a good night. Have a good and have a good birthday as we now move over to
Thank you.
Matt. No worries. As we go over to Matt Hicks.
How you doing?
Hello, Matt. It's been a while, but
A little while.
P number 3 in the sprint. Believe it was P number 9 in the second race. Talk us through it. How was that for you?
Oh yeah, it was good actually. I mean, I put 60 litres of fuel in for the first race by accident, so that wasn't ideal, but somehow worked out. I had Fraser and Wright on comms, so that was decent. But yeah, it was good race. Enjoyed it. And then race 2, starting in 17th, just pretty bad qualifying, and I don't know what happened, to be honest. Spun out, and then just a bit of consistency. Other people made a few other mistakes, so yeah, just really enjoyed it.
And I said it to Kelly. I'm going to say it to you, Donington next week. How do you think that's going to go?
Honestly, no idea. I'm just gonna rock up and see how it goes. Play it by ear, you know. Probably put wets on for fun.
With the way that Britain is, I would not be surprised if it is a wet race. Obviously, in the Ferrari out there, and it's a very different car. Of course, it's an interesting car to drive. But do you think there was anywhere where you was losing out, like on the straights or anything?
Yeah, I mean all over the place. I think that's more skill level for me, really. Just sliding around a little bit, but yeah, she's a spicy old gal. Well,
fair enough. Before I let you go, is there anybody you would like to give a thanks to?
Oh, got to thank old Righty and Fraser. It's nice to not have Ian on comms tonight. He had to do his homework, so that was ideal. Had Rams in the chat too, so that was helpful. But yeah, shout out to the community as well.
Well, fair enough. I shall let you go. Have a good night.
All right, take it easy.
And now, John Goody, the man who I definitely want to get an answer from. What happened there at the end? Because it seemed like Hibbs was letting you pass, but it also didn't seem like it. What was going on at the end? P number 3 overall.
No, he wouldn't let me pass. Nah, honestly, we went in with a strategy this week. I need to close a gap on, or gain a gap on Snai, so to try and secure second place. So we went with that strategy today. But yeah, obviously we've got one more race to go, so depending on what happens there, it was just to try and finalise it a little bit more. But yeah, it was a hard race.
Too bad. You said a hard race. What was it like for you out there? Obviously, having to sift through the field a little bit, which you did with meticulous skill, I must say. But what was it like starting a little bit further back and fighting through?
To be fair, I think it kind of makes me drive a bit better. I think personally, because it makes me push. The car felt absolutely amazing again. I lost a bit of time to Hibbs and to Rob, and yeah, from there I was just trying to punch in quali laps, and I was managing to do it. Got caught up in a bit of back traffic with someone coming out the pits that kind of lost me the momentum, which kind of I think, and I'm quite positive, if I didn't get caught up, I would have probably been on the back of Hibbs anyway, which Hibbs was on the back of Rob as well. So like, yeah, it's one of them. Like, would have I been able to do it or would I not? I mean, I'd done quite a good drive yesterday. I come from the back of the pack to finish 7th. I tried to keep that momentum coming into this race, which I think I'd done. But yeah, I didn't really put a foot wrong, really. So that was the main thing that I was trying not to.
Fair enough. I asked everybody it, so I'm going to ask you it as well. Donington next week, what do you think you're going to be expecting into the finale?
Oh, I love Donny. Really love it. I always go well there. There's a bit of a continuous story there going on, but generally, prior to this season, I've done really well around Donington, always have. So I'm hoping I can pick up the same and just try and stay out of trouble and try and finish off the season with practically how the season's gone. So it's just trying to build that. But me and Hibbs have said that we're gonna have a bit of a gloves off fight going into the last race. I think he's pretty much secured it now. So yeah, we're just gonna have a bit of fun in the next race, hoping for rain.
Yeah, well, looking at the table now is actually, and it's only provisional, but that is Hibbs who has secured the Drivers' Championship. Of course, provisional because in case penalties and all that. But right now, Hibbs does have the championship.
Yeah. We came into this race with the expecting he was going to do it anyway. He started off the season so well, and I've just said to him, look, just keep your head down, and we'll just work together throughout the season, which I think we've done, and we've showed that we've done quite well throughout the season with working together. So yeah, it's been a good season, I can say that. I mean, all of my team have done quite well. I've got to say a massive hats off to Cloud9. They've come into their own the back end of this season, which I'm quite proud about. Being a last-minute team, obviously with one of the guys having been kicked out of the league. So yeah, it was like a last-minute team thrown together, and yeah, they've gelled quite well together, to be fair. So
fair enough. That was a good race for you and a good side through the field. I shall let you go. Before you do, is there anybody you'd like to give a thanks to?
Yeah, I just want to say thanks to all the viewers and that sticking with the channel, making the channel bigger. It's been a bit of a hectic season with a few races. But yeah, thank you to Hibbs for being such a good teammate as well, carrying this team through to this constructors. Race 1 hasn't been really my thing this season. Where I've dropped points, he's managed to pick up points. So big thank you to him. Thank you to Clouden for being our our race engineer as well. He's helped out a lot as well. So.
Fair enough. I shall let you go. We shall see you next week at Donington Park.
Thank you. Happy birthday to KLF as well.
Thank you, John.
And I do not believe we have... Oh, we do have Ramsel. So, Ramsel. Yep, so Ramsel. P number 2. Talk us through it.
Hard work. Well done to Snipe for that one again. I think I'm having to congratulate him every week at the minute, but the pace he's had in that BM. Made a bit of a mistake in race 1, I think he learnt from. Went side by side into bus stop, I backed out. He sent it a bit too much, bounced off the curb. But no, faultless again in that race. I was trying to keep my hardest to keep up with him. Decided to go for a few quali runs early doors, pit early. So wear them tyres out, try and get as much advantage as I can. But I think after that, the tyres just started to drop off on that second stint. I could slowly see Hibbs and Goudet catching up on me. But his Ferrari's just understeering everywhere. So, no, other than that, good race. Well done to Snipe for just being just in another league again, isn't he, today? He's putting pro time in that quali lap as well.
Most definitely. And you were talking about the Ferrari, different track next week, Donington Park. How do you think it's going to go?
I'm feeling confident. Obviously, it's my home race. I literally live around the corner. I'm there all the time. There for the touring cars the other day with a few people, Duffin and Steve and stuff. I know that track like back of my hand. Hopefully, I'll know all the little secrets to it. I know where to push, know where to get the grip. So yeah, next week for me, I think it's going to be a good week for myself. So hopefully, looks at the weather forecast. It's looking good, nice and sunny. Exactly what we want.
Fair enough. And of course, we've got the Nordschleife coming up. What do you think you'll be competing in it? Or, of course, because the cars are very different, variating on the circuit. So just over this entire season, how's that Ferrari and the team been for you?
Yeah, no. So in terms of the 24-hour, the charity one, I'll be there with Clouden and Gude, fellow Greasy Bandits teammates. We put a lot of prep in. I think we've got a fourth driver. It's a bit hit and miss, but yeah, we're going to put a lot of prep in for that one. That should be good. In terms of the Ferrari this season, I've enjoyed it. I've always been Ferrari for probably about 2 years now. I just feel this season's lost a bit of an edge. It's hard to get around anybody. In terms of braking, cornering, absolutely beautiful. Coming out of the corners, tend to struggle with the other cars, and I think that's what's making it a bit harder when I'm stuck behind a car in the dirty hair. I just couldn't quite get that edge. But no, testing slowly starting in the background. A few other cars in between, like test sessions. See what I can run next year. I'm thinking next season. Let's try a new car next season. Maybe see how it goes.
Enough. We'll see you at Donington Park. Before I let you go, anybody you would like to give a thanks to?
Yeah, so a couple of people. First of all, John Goudet and everyone over at Greasy Bandits been absolutely sensational this year. They've really helped me bring my pace along. So big shout out to the fellow teammates. Also want to shout out, first of all, big happy birthday to KLF. I'll have a couple of that one out there.
Thank you, Rob.
And just a big shout out to all the admins. I know it's busy at the minute, especially in the Discord, with what's going to come next season. There's a lot of ideas being thrown out there. Speaking to Duffin again the other day, loads going on in the background, time consuming, stressful at the same time. So just a big shout out to everyone involved on the admin team.
Fair enough. I'm sure they would appreciate that. Have a good night. We'll see you at Donington.
See you next week.
See ya. And now the man of the hour, the man who seemed to have so much consistency, it was not real. Sny, congratulations on that win. Seemingly miles ahead. Talk us through it.
Oh, hey, thanks. I don't know how that happened, but at the beginning I was a little bit nervous, especially having Hibbs behind me on my tail, and my job was to basically get away from Hibbs as much as I can. And after that, after I got some gap between us, I felt pretty comfortably. So after that was just basically trying not to make big mistakes. The first race was disaster. Yes, Robert mentioned just couldn't push too much and ended up hitting a wall. Yeah, it's common stuff for me for race one. Was feeling unusually nervous for some reason. Don't know why, but anyway, once I get some pace going, it was calmed down a little bit. It was going well.
And of course, looking at this, Donington next week, it's all provisional, so the difference may change. 30 points behind John Goday down into Donington, into the finale. The battle for P number 2 is on. Do you think you're going to be able to carry this momentum?
I'm not sure. Are you going to reduce one of the, like, how do you say it, like the worst result from your list of results? Does it make sense?
I believe there is the drop race, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm asking because I missed the Nürburgring GP and basically did not attend there. So I'm all right.
Yeah. And then we've go ahead.
Yeah, so going in second place, I don't know. Probably I'm not going to make it. Probably good result, just in third one. Yeah, and I'm pretty happy with that.
Of course, how is the Beamer out there for you? Because you are the only BMW driver, I do believe, who we've had in the box this evening. Of course, we've had some Ferrari, some Aston Martin, some McLaren. What was the BMW like out there?
Oh, it's amazing. I mean, there is no track you you actually struggle in Beamer, and some tracks, it depends on Bob. For example, for Donington, I got like plus 20 kill for some reason. But anyway, beside that, it's good on straights, it's good at corners. I mean, not as good as Ferrari, but anyway, brakes, kind of average, not the best one, but not the worst one. So I'm pretty happy with that. I've been thinking about for some time maybe to switch car, but don't really know what to switch it for because it's so versatile and you can drive at any track with it and do some show some good results. Yeah.
Before that was a very good race win today. Before we let you go, is there anybody you would like to shout out?
I guess thanks everybody who driving it and attended to GT4's racing, GT3. Quite nice. I've been enjoying racing with you for the whole season. It's pretty good. Thanks for commentary as usual. Just great work there. Yeah, thanks admins for kind of making it happen. Yeah, enjoying, and looking forward to be in next season, I think. Yeah, thank you.
Great, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week at Donington Park.
Thanks. See you next week.
See you next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for the racing action here tonight at Watkins Glen. But the racing action is not done yet. Tomorrow night, right here on YouTube, it's Sweet and Sticky. It's Matthew Duffin and Kelly Davis for the pro racing action here in New York at Watkins Glen. And then we go again over on Tuesday night for the GT4s. For the finale, it's Donington Park. That is brought to you by Dan. This has been Pro-Am. Of course, we have the Nordschleife coming up as the week close in. You can't find it on SimGrid. We're going to be racing against Cancer, a 24-hour event. It is in the Discord. If you join the SimPlay Motorsport Discord, you'll be able to find the sign up there. But for now, that is all for tonight. Like I said, Sweet and Sticky will be back tomorrow night. This has been SimPlay Motorsport Pro-Am. I've been Lexi. Good night.